grateful of the friendship that I have with the steelworkers, grateful of the friendship that I have with President Leo Gerard and his staff. They've been absolutely tremendous in their support of our radio show and the Ed Show on MSNBC. Paul Wellstone, what an honor. It is an honor for me to get this award, and I think we can really think back about the kind of fighter he was for the middle class and how he was always giving unwavering support to organized labor and collective bargaining and the rights of workers and the middle class in this country. So I just want to ask you a couple of questions about where we are as a country right now with Paul Wellstone in mind. Do you think Paul Wellstone would have said, yes, let's extend the Bush tax cuts? You think he would have done that? You think Paul Wellstone would have been on the front lines with the people in Madison, Wisconsin fighting against Governor Walker's radical agenda? You think he would have been there? Yeah. You think Paul Wellstone would have been silent with this attack we have on public education in America? Do you think he would have stood on the sidelines? No. I am honored that my name is on this award. And I'm also honored that you think so highly of your profession, your family, your community, and your country, that you are willing to stand up and say no to a radical agenda that is sweeping this country. We are the last bastion, the middle class, organized labor, the last bastion between saving this country or seeing it go down the drain. We cannot have a constant push for the concentration of wealth, poor trade agreements, attacking of public education, attacking of collective bargaining, and expect us to have the same old United States of America. It doesn't work that way. Oftentimes in recent weeks, I have stepped up and spoken openly about President Obama. It has absolutely nothing to do with whether you or I or the people in our arena support the president. We have an obligation as workers, as Americans, to make sure that the White House hears the message that collective bargaining will not be a bargaining chip. Cranked up. Well, you know what? That's what we're in this game. You know, you can't be on the sideline. You got to get after it. You know, I was sitting on the couch in the apartment in New York back in January, and I saw 8,000 people on a 15-second clip on MSNBC. They were standing outside the Capitol in Madison, Wisconsin. And Well, what the hell But when I saw that, just a 15-second clip of those workers outside the Capitol in Madison, and the anchor said, the protesters are concerned about the future of collective bargaining. I said, what? I called up homie, I said, did you just see that? We just ran something on MSNBC. I said, they're running something about the collective bargaining's being in trouble in Wisconsin. Hell, that's where it was born. That's what started the story. And then we found out that there was a real interesting correlation between the legislation that was being pushed forward in Wisconsin to the legislation in Ohio, to the attitude and the push of the governor of New Jersey, and then this other guy down in Florida, and then the guy in Michigan, and then the guy in Indiana. And on Monday at noon when we had our TV meeting for the Ed Show, I negotiate. No, there's no negotiation here. They put it up. They financially supported it. They went after it. They refused to negotiate. They felt their oats. They ramrodded it through. Senate Bill 5 passed. And guess what? It's wrong, and it's going to get recalled, and we're going to get it done. That's it. Citizens United. George W. Bush was one of the most successful presidents the conservatives ever had. He put two extremists on the Supreme Court, and he cut taxes for the wealthy twice. That's when they should have put up the mission accomplished sign. Because generationally speaking, that had a huge impact on our lives. We're not in financial trouble in this country because of the workers. We're not in financial straits talking about cuts in this country and reforms